A successful man is always asked, "What is the secret of your success?" People never ask a man who is a failure, "What is the secret of your failure?" It is quite easy to see, and they are not interested. People all want to know how to open the secret door of success. For each man, there is success, but it seems to be behind a door or wall. In the Bible reading, we have heard the wonderful story of the falling of the walls of Jericho. Of course, all biblical stories have a metaphysical interpretation. We will talk now about your wall of Jericho, the wall separating you from success. Nearly everyone has built a wall around his own Jericho. This city you are not able to enter contains great treasures, your divinely designed success, your heart's desire. What kind of wall have you built around your Jericho? Often, it is a wall of resentment. Resenting someone or resenting a situation shuts off your good. If you are a failure and resent the success of someone else, you are keeping away your own success. I have given the following statement to neutralize envy and resentment. What God has done for others, He now does for me and more. A woman was filled with envy because a friend had received a gift. She made this statement, and an exact duplicate of the gift was given her, plus another present. It was when the children of Israel shouted that the walls of Jericho fell down. When you make an affirmation of truth, your wall of Jericho totters. I gave the following statement to a woman. The walls of lack and delay now crumble away, and I enter my promised land under grace. She had a vivid picture of stepping over a fallen wall and received the demonstration of her good almost immediately. It is the word of realization which brings about a change in your affairs. For words and thoughts are a form of radioactivity. Taking an interest in your work, enjoying what you are doing, opens the secret door to success. A number of years ago, I went to California to speak at the different centers by way of the Panama Canal, and on the boat I met a man named Jim Tully. For years he had been a tramp. He called himself the king of the hobos. He was ambitious and picked up an education. He had a vivid imagination and commenced writing stories about his experiences. He dramatized tramp life, he enjoyed what he was doing, and became a very successful author. I remember one book called Outside Looking In. It was made into a motion picture. He is now famous and prosperous and lives in Hollywood. What opened the secret door to success for Jim Tully? And the birth of that marvelous wish in your soul, the dawning of that secret dream, was the voice of God Himself telling you to arise and come up higher because He had need of you. God is infinite mind, and that mind is ever seeking for more and for new expression. For such the Father seeketh to worship Him. Now, because you are a human being, you are intended to be a new point of expression for God, a focal point, infinite mind. In fact, somewhat as an electric lamp may be regarded as a focal point for the manifestation of the electric current in the circuit. A focal point for the divine self-expression. That is what you are intended to be. And if you are willing to become that, then you will be fulfilling your destiny, and you will experience absolutely perfect and unalloyed happiness and harmony, and eternal and unrestricted development. I have told you before it come to pass, that when it come to pass, ye might believe. John 14:29. Many persons, myself included, have observed events before they occurred. That is, before they occurred in this world of 3 dimensions. Since man can observe an event before it occurs in the 3 dimensions of space, life on Earth must proceed according to plan, and this plan must exist elsewhere in another dimension and be slowly moving through our space. If the occurring events were not in this world when they were observed, then, to be perfectly logical, they must have been out of this world. And whatever is there to be seen before it occurs here must be predetermined from the point of view of man awake in a three-dimensional world. Thus, the question arises, are we able to alter our future? My object in writing these pages is to indicate possibilities inherent in man, to show that man can alter his future. But thus altered, it forms again a deterministic sequence starting from the point of interference, a future that will be consistent with the alteration. The most remarkable feature of man's future is its flexibility. It is determined by his attitudes rather than by his acts. The cornerstone on which all things are based is man's concept of himself. He acts as he does and has the experiences that he does because his concept of himself is what it is, and for no other reason. Had he a different concept of self, he would act differently. A change of concept of self automatically alters his future. Law and its operation. The world, and all within it, is man's conditioned consciousness objectified. Consciousness is the cause as well as the substance of the entire world. So it is to consciousness that we must turn if we would discover the secret of creation. Knowledge of the law of consciousness and the method of operating this law will enable you to accomplish all you desire in life. Chapter 2. Sleep. Sleep, the life that occupies 1/3 of our stay on earth, is the natural door into the subconscious. So it is with sleep that we are now concerned. The conscious, 2/3 of our life on earth, is measured by the degree of attention we give sleep. Our understanding of and delight in what sleep has to bestow will cause us night after night to set out for it as though we were keeping an appointment with a lover. In a dream and a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumbering upon the bed, then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction. Job 33. Chapter 3. Prayer. Prayer, like sleep, is also an entrance into the subconscious. Prayer is not so much what you ask for, as how you prepare for its reception. Whatsoever things ye desire when you pray, believe you have received them, and ye shall have them. The only condition required is that you believe that your prayers are already realized. Your prayer must be answered if you assume the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of your objective. The moment you accept the wish as an accomplished fact, the subconscious finds means for its realization. To pray successfully, then, you must yield to the wish, that is, feel the wish fulfilled. This book is concerned with the art of realizing your desire. It gives you an account of the mechanism used in the production of the visible world. It is a small book, but not slight. There is a treasure in it, a clearly defined road to the realization of your dreams. Introduction. The hand of eternal progress is brushing the cobwebs from the corridors of time and is again revealing to the human race the mysteries of being. As there is nothing new under the sun, the searchlight of truth is bringing to light only what has been known to the few in all generations. The time has now come when the few must become the many. The whole world, from the least to the greatest, must know the truth, so that man may understand the great laws that govern his life. He must learn to control his own destiny to heal his own body and bring happiness to his own soul. Ignorance must vanish, and understanding must be ushered in. Man is no longer to be governed by anything outside himself. Creeds, doctrines, churches, institutions, organizations, governments are all being changed to give place to the realization of the individual. There is a power in and through all that is working this great transformation. All that will not measure up to the standard must fall by its own weight. All that is in line with the truth must still prosper. The time is at hand. We are in the greatest age of all history. We are in the age of the unifying of all people and all things into the ever-present one. The temple, not made with hands, is now being silently built by the emancipated souls of this planet. This little book is an attempt to explain what each soul must discover for himself, that he stands in the midst of an eternal creative power which presses itself around his own thought and casts back to him glorified all that he thinks. If it awakens within the consciousness of one single individual, the realization that the mind of the universe, which is the only mind that there is his own mind, that the creative power of this mind is his also, that the manifestation of this mind is his own individuality, that the love and power and peace of this mind is within himself, it will not be written in vain. May it then do much in simplifying and bringing to light some of the deeper mysteries and meanings of life. Ernest Holmes, October 1st, 1918. By the right choice and true application of thought, woman ascends to the divine perfection. By the abuse and wrong application of thought, she descends below the level of the beast. Between these two extremes are all the grades of character, and woman is their maker and master. Of all the beautiful truths pertaining to the soul which have been restored and brought to light in this age, none is more gladdening or fruitful of divine promise and confidence than this, that woman is the master of thought, the molder of character, and maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. As a being of power, intelligence, and love, and the lord of her own thoughts, woman holds the key to every situation and contains within herself that transforming and regenerative agency by which she makes herself what she wills. Woman is always the master, even in her weakest and most abandoned state. But in her weakness and degradation, she is the foolish master who misgoverns her household. When she begins to reflect upon her condition and to search diligently for the law upon which her being is established, she then becomes the wise master, directing her energies with intelligence and fashioning her thoughts to fruitful issues. Such is the conscious master, and woman can only thus become by discovering within herself the laws of thought, which discovery is totally a matter of application, self-analysis, and experience. Only by much searching and mining are gold and diamonds obtained, and woman can find every truth connected with her being if she will dig deep into the mine of her soul, and that she is the maker of her character, the molder of her life, and the builder of her destiny, she may unerringly prove, if she will watch, control, and alter her thoughts, tracing their effects upon herself, upon others, and upon her life and circumstances, linking cause and effect by patient practice and investigation, and utilizing her every experience, even to the most trivial, everyday occurrence, as a means of obtaining that knowledge of herself which is understanding, wisdom, power. In this direction, as in no other, is the law absolute that she that seeketh findeth, and to her that knocketh it shall be opened. For only by patience, practice, and ceaseless importunity can a woman enter the door of the temple of knowledge. Creating atmosphere. To the student who has realized that all is mind and that everything is governed by law, there comes another thought. It is that he can create, or have created for him, from his own thinking. He can create such a strong mental atmosphere of success that its power of attraction will be irresistible. He can send his thought throughout the world and have it bring back to him whatever he wants. He can so fill his place of business with the power of success that it will draw from far and near. Thought will always bring back to us what we send out. First, we must clear our thought of all unbelief. This book is written for those who believe, and to those who do believe, it will come true in their lives. Without mental clearness on the part of the thinker, there can be no real creative work done. As water will reach only its own level, so mind will return to us only what we first believe. We are always getting what we believe, but not always what we want. Our thought has the power to reach, in the outer form of conditions, an exact correspondence to our inner convictions. By thinking, you set in motion a power that creates. It will be exactly as you think. You throw out into mind an idea, and mind creates it for you and sets it on the path of your life. Think of it, then, as your greatest friend. It is always with you wherever you may be. It never deserts you. You are never alone. There is no doubt, no fear, no wondering. You know. You are going to use the only power that there is in the universe. You are going to use it for a definite purpose. You have already fixed this purpose in your thought. Now you are going to speak it forth. You are speaking it for your own good. You desire only the good, and you know that only the good can come to you. You have made your unity with life, and now life is going to help you in your affairs. You are going to establish in your rooms such an atmosphere of success that it will become an irresistible power. It will sweep everything before it as it realizes the greatness and the almightiness of the One. You are so sure that you will not even look to see if it is going to happen. You know. And now, your word, which is one of the infinite life, is to be spoken in calm, perfect trust. It is to be taken up, and at once it is to be operated on. Perfect is the pattern, and perfect will be the result. You see yourself surrounded by the thing that you desire. More than this, you are the thing that you desire. Your word is now establishing it forever. See this, feel it, know it. You are now encompassed by perfect life, by infinite activity, by all power, by all guidance. The power of the Spirit is drawing to you all people. It is supplying you with all good. It is filling you with all life, truth, and love. Wait in perfect silence while that inner power takes it up, and then you know that it is done unto you. There goes forth from this word the power of the infinite. The words which I speak, they are spirit and they are life. Success. There are certain words or pictures which impress the subconscious mind. For example, a man called asking me to speak the word for his right work. I gave him the statement, "Behold, I have set before thee the open door of destiny, and no man shall shut it." It didn't seem to make much impression, so I was inspired to add, "And no man shall shut it, for it is nailed back." The man was electrified and went out walking on air. Within a few weeks, he was called to a distant city to fill a wonderful position which came about in a miraculous way. I gave another example of a woman who fearlessly followed a hunch. She was working for a small salary when she read my book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. The thought came in a flash to start in business for herself and open a tea room and candy shop. The idea staggered her at first. but it persisted. So she boldly went forth and procured a shop and assistance. She spoke the word for supply, for she did not have money to back her enterprise. It came in miraculous ways, and the shop opened. From the first day, it was filled with people, and now it is crammed, jammed. They stand in line and wait. One day, being a holiday, her assistants became gloomy and said they could not expect to do much business. My student, however, replied that God was her supply, and every day was a good day. In the afternoon, an old friend came in to see the shop and bought a 2-pound box of candy. He gave her a check, and when she looked at it, she found it was for $100. So it was indeed a good day, $100 for a box of candy. She says every morning she enters the shop with wonder and gives thanks that she had the fearless faith that wins. Affirmations. The decks are now cleared for divine action, and my own comes to me under grace in a magical way. I now let go of worn-out conditions and worn-out things. Divine order is established in my mind, body, and affairs. Behold, I make all things new. My seeming impossible good now comes to pass. The unexpected now happens. The 4 winds of success now blow to me my own. From north, south, east, and west comes my endless good. The Christ in me is risen. I now fulfill my destiny. Endless good now comes to me in endless ways. I clap my cymbals and rejoice, for Jehovah goes before me, making clear, easy, and successful my way. I give thanks for my whirlwind success. I sweep all before me, for I work with the Spirit and follow the divine plan of my life. My spiritual sporting blood is up. I am more than equal to this situation. I am awake to my good and gather in the harvest of endless opportunities. I am harmonious, poised, and magnetic. I now draw to myself my own. My power is God's power and is irresistible. Divine order is now established in my mind, body, and affairs. I see clearly and act quickly, and my greatest expectations come to pass in a miraculous way. There is no competition on the spiritual plane. What is rightfully mine is given me under grace. I have within me an undiscovered country, which is revealed to me now in the name of Jesus Christ. Behold, I have set before thee the open door of destiny, and no man shall shut it, for it is nailed back. Consciousness is the Father that is drawing the manifestations of life unto you. You are, at this very moment, drawing into your world that which you are now conscious of being. Now you can see what is meant by, you must be born again. If you are dissatisfied with your present expression in life, the only way to change it is to take your attention away from that which seems so real to you and rise in consciousness to that which you desire to be. You cannot serve 2 masters. Therefore, to take your attention from one state of consciousness and place it upon another is to die to one and live to the other. The question, "Whom do you say that I am?" is not addressed to a man called Peter by one called Jesus. This is the eternal question addressed to oneself by one's true being. In other words, whom do you say that you are? For your conviction of yourself, your opinion of yourself will determine your expression in life. He states, "You believe in God, believe also in me." The game. Most people consider life a battle, but it is not a battle. it's a game. It's a game, however, which cannot be played successfully without the knowledge of spiritual law. And the Old and the New Testaments give the rules of the game with wonderful clearness. Jesus Christ taught that it was a great game of giving and receiving. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. This means that whatever man sends out in word or deed will return to him. What he gives, he will receive. If he gives hate, he will receive hate. If he gives love, he will receive love. If he gives criticism, he will receive criticism. If he lies, he will be lied to. If he cheats, he will be cheated. We are taught also that the imaging faculty plays a leading part in the game of life. Keep thy heart, or imagination, with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. This means that what man images, sooner or later externalizes in his affairs. I know of a man who feared a certain disease. It was a very rare disease and difficult to get, but he pictured it continually and read about it until it manifested in his body, and he died, the victim of distorted imagination. So we see, to play successfully the game of life, we must train the imaging faculty. A person with an imaging faculty trained to image only good brings into his life every righteous desire of his heart: health, wealth, love, friends, perfect self-expression, his highest ideals. The imagination has been called the scissors of the mind, and it is ever cutting day by day the pictures man sees there, and sooner or later he meets his own creations in his outer world. To train the imagination successfully, man must understand the workings of his mind. The Greeks said, "Know thyself." There are 3 departments of the mind: the subconscious, conscious, and superconscious. The subconscious is simply power without direction. It is like steam or electricity, and it does what it is directed to do. It has no power of induction. Whatever man feels deeply or images clearly is impressed upon the subconscious mind and carried out in minutest detail. For example, a woman I know, when a child, always made believe she was a widow. She dressed up in black clothes and wore a long black veil, and people thought she was very clever and amusing. She grew up and married a man with whom she was deeply in love. In a short time, he died, and she wore black and a sweeping veil for many years. The picture of herself as a widow was impressed upon the subconscious mind, and in due time worked itself out regardless of the havoc created. The conscious mind has been called mortal or carnal mind. It is the human mind and sees life as it appears to be. It sees death, disaster, sickness, poverty, and limitation of every kind, and it impresses the subconscious. The superconscious mind is the God mind within each man, and is the realm of perfect ideas. In it is the perfect pattern, spoken of by Plato, the divine design, for there is a divine design for each person. There is a place that you are to fill and no one else can fill, something you are to do which no one else can do. There is a perfect picture of this in the superconscious mind. It usually flashes across the conscious as an unattainable idea, something too good to be true. In reality, it is man's true destiny or destination flashed to him from the infinite intelligence which is within himself. The power of positive thinking has amazing potential. Oprah believes that you become what you believe, and what you believe has more power than what you dream, wish, or hope for. It is important to have conviction in what you believe and recognize that you deserve your dreams. Beliefs influence every single thought we have, and if you believe you are not allowed your dreams, every path you take on your journey will feel like a misstep. This negativity can allow you to see signs that problems are a message that you are on the wrong path and should give up. However, if you believe that you have the capability to overcome problems and deserve your desires, you will find a power throughout your journey. This can give you confidence in the good times and strength in the hard times to continue on your path.